A title screen with the Access Nevada logo is displayed.
Welcome to this video tutorial for Access Nevada. In this video, we'll be showing you how to file a dispute resolution request as an SEA user. This video describes general functionality for navigating the dispute request process. What is displayed on your screen will depend on the dispute type selected, and your experience may be different from what is shown in this video.
The main Access Nevada dashboard is displayed.
To initiate a dispute resolution action request from the dashboard, first ensure your LEA and the current school year appear in the top right corner of the page.
The mouse clicks in the LEA and school year fields to select the correct option.
Then click Create Request under Dispute Resolution in the left navigation pane.
The Dispute Resolution and Create Request options in the left navigation pane are clicked. The Create Dispute Request screen opens.
You will be directed to the Create Dispute Request page. The Access Nevada system has a variety of in-system help features to guide you through the process of requesting dispute resolution.
Help text is highlighted in several places.
Help text below headings explain the process in a variety of areas. To create a case, you must select a dispute type by clicking the associated radio button. For purposes of this training video, we will view the facilitation dispute type.
The radio button to select Request IEP Facilitation is clicked. The screen scrolls down to show additional fields.
Other request types will follow a similar pattern of completion. You will then complete the following. For the child information section, type the child's full name in the corresponding field.
A name is typed in the field. The asterisks indicating a required field are highlighted.
Please note that required fields throughout the system are brought to your attention by the use of asterisks, red warning text, warning icons, and validations. You have the option to record the date of birth and address of residence of the child. Select the date of birth using the calendar icon.
The calendar icon is clicked. A date is selected using the Date Picker tool.
Type the address of residence of the child in the corresponding fields.
The address of residence of child, city, state, and zip fields are filled in.
You may enter the student's state unique ID if known.
A number is entered in the field.
Record the public agency and school from the drop-down menus.
A public agency and school are selected from the drop-down menus.
To complete the requester information section, select the role of the person making the request.
The parent representative option is selected in the role field.
Type the requester's name, address, email, and phone number into the corresponding fields.
The full name, email, phone, address line 1, city, state, and zip fields are completed.
Select the preferred method of communication from the radio buttons.
The electronic option is selected rather than physical or unknown.
The system will automatically require parent information to be included as an additional party if the initial requester is someone other than the parent.
The screen scrolls down to show the additional party information section and fills out the fields, including selecting the parent's address is the same as student's checkbox, which copies the address information from the child information above. The additional party button is highlighted.
You may also add additional parties to the request by clicking the Add Additional Party button.
The Continue button is clicked, and the Facilitation Entry Details screen displays.
When these sections are complete, click Continue. The system will then display relevant information fields to be addressed that will vary according to the dispute type selected. Again, for purposes of this training video, we will view the facilitation dispute type, but other request types will follow a similar pattern of completion. You will then complete the following information on the Request Details page.
Several question mark icons on the screen are highlighted. Then one is clicked. Additional information displays.
Clickable help icons are available throughout the system for additional in-depth explanations. Click outside of the pop-up modal to close the help information.
The additional information disappears. The user types the date into one field, then uses the Date Picker tool to enter the other.
If you know the date of the student's most recent IEP meeting and/or the date of the most recent evaluation, click in the appropriate field to add known dates. Dates can be typed manually using a month, day, year format, or selected by clicking on the associated calendar icon.
The mouse clicks on the IEEP areas field to open the drop-down menu, then clicks a few options.
Clicking in the IEP area field will open a multi-select drop-down and display IEP areas that could be selected for assistance during the IEP meeting.
The mouse clicks on the IEEP areas field to open the drop-down menu, then clicks a few options.
Check the box next to any specific areas you want included in the facilitation request. Once areas have been checked, click anywhere on the page. The drop-down will close and checked items will display in the field.
The next question on the screen is highlighted.
You must click on the Yes or No radio button to document if an IEP meeting has been scheduled for the student.
The Yes option is selected, and a new scheduled date field appears. The user clicks the calendar icon in the field to select a date.
If you indicate a meeting has been scheduled by selecting Yes, you will be required to provide the date of the scheduled meeting by clicking in the Scheduled Date field and manually typing the date using a month, day, year format, or clicking on the associated calendar icon and selecting the appropriate date.
The user changes the response to No, and a new text field is displayed. The user changes the response back to Yes.
If No is selected, you may provide any time constraints for the conduct of the IEP meeting.
The next question on the screen is highlighted.
Click the Yes or No radio button to indicate if you have a preference for a specific facilitator.
The user selects Yes, then selects a name from the preferred facilitator drop-down list.
If selecting Yes, you must then select a preferred facilitator from the drop-down list provided.
The next question on the screen is highlighted.
You may use the radio buttons to select your preference for facilitation.
The user selects no preference rather than stating a preference for a virtual or in-person facilitation.
Once all required fields have been addressed, the Continue button will become active. Click it to proceed to the File Upload page.
The Continue button is clicked and the File Upload screen loads.
The File Upload page will allow you to upload any documents relevant to the case.
The Choose File button is clicked and a document selected. The user gives the document a title in the Document Title field and clicks Upload. The document is added to a table of uploaded documents. A question asking if the user has documentation of consent for release of PII is highlighted.
If needed, answer any questions regarding personally identifiable information, or PII, and the transfer of rights that may be required.
The Yes option is selected, and an Upload Form button appears.
You may upload these documents if prompted.
The user clicks the button and an Upload Release of PII modal opens. The user selects a file to upload, then clicks the Upload button. The modal closes and the document is added to a separate document table.
Once all required fields have been addressed, the Continue button will become active. Click it to proceed to the Physical Request Details page.
The Continue button is clicked and the Physical Request Details page loads.
Use the calendar icon to select the date that the request was received.
The user clicks the calendar icon in the field to select a date.
Use the Note field to record any information to accompany the request.
The user types a note in the Notes field, then clicks the Upload Request button.
Upload the physical request by clicking the corresponding button, selecting the document, and submitting the request.
A document is selected, activating the Submit button, which is clicked. The case status screen opens.
You will then see the case status page where you may view, edit, or access the case actions associated with a newly created case. Click the Back to Dashboard button to return to the Dispute Resolution dashboard.
The button is clicked and the Dispute Resolution dashboard page loads. A thank you screen with the Access Nevada logo is displayed.
Thank you for viewing this video tutorial.